Do you want to save hours automating your business using things like Zapier and ChatGPT? In this video, I'm going to show a beginner's guide on how to get started with Zapier and integrate new workflow automations, talking about what triggers are, nodes, actions, workflows, all of the tools that you actually need. And I'll show you exactly how to start as if you have never done this before. Make sure to stick around until the end, because at the end, I will give you a lot of my templates and walk through some best use cases for your business. First off, I want to show you how to get Zapier for free, at least at a limited capacity, so you can try this and test it and build a free automation. So as far as I know, Zapier doesn't have an affiliate program, so no links to worry about here. But if you jump into their website, just zapier.com-pricing currently, they do have a free plan that gives you 100 tasks per month. So a task is in each action. So if you build a workflow, every time it goes through a step, it's actually a task. So tasks can get used up really quickly in complex automations. We're on an enterprise level of Zapier, but it's a really great starting point. And if you want to do something like automate one of your social media platforms, you can do it completely free. And the best part is you get to jump in here and learn. Now, there are other tools like N8N and Make who are maybe a little bit more powerful now, but Zapier is one of the easiest to use. And that's why I think this is a great start for beginners. One of the advantages is just how easy it is to integrate the tools with things like N8N. Typically, you're self-hosting, you're building a server, and then the actual setup is through OAuth, authentication processes, or something a little bit more complicated. So in here, you'll see that there is a free version of Zapier, and that's a great place to start. So now we're actually going to jump into my account, and we'll just start from new. So you'll come in here, you'll see a lot of different options. You have Zaps, tables, all of chatbots, Canvas. There's a whole bunch of stuff, but really, even with a lot of these, I honestly don't love most of their tools. What they're trying to do is help you not have to integrate from third parties and also wait for them to make more money. The main thing that I use in here is the Zaps. So I'm gonna come in here to Zaps. I have a whole bunch in here. I think we have literally hundreds. So you can see that we use this. And I'm gonna create a new one, create new Zap. And then you want to obviously name it. So rename this as test-Scott. And then in here, they now have this AI Copilot. So the AI Copilot is a way to tell it exactly what you want to do. I'm not going to cover that because I'm going to start building from scratch. But in here, you could say, I want, to read through all my emails and then create a draft response. So you can do that in here very easily by just kind of setting that up. And I think that's actually what we'll probably show, just because it's an easy use case. And to start, what you need is a trigger. So you'll see it's named trigger. And the reason why it's named trigger is it's what's triggering the workflow. So if you think about, it's an action outside the real world that's being taken and making this automation run. So maybe every time you send an email, it's a trigger. Maybe every time you get an order, it's a trigger. Maybe every time a lead subscribes to your lead list, it's a trigger. You can also get more advanced by putting triggers in workflows like in Go High Level and Active Campaign and other tools. So when a lead gets to a certain point, it triggers something. The most basic place to use this is when you get a new lead or you have an email come in or a financial thing that you want to happen on the background. We use this for AI SDR. So we get a new email, it automatically drafts and responds. There's hundreds of use cases, and I did another video on this, but I just want to start with this trigger. So again, that trigger is what's happening outside in the world, and it's what's actually starting the automation. Now, the next step is your action. Your action is what happens after that trigger. So the trigger is going to capture a whole bunch of information. So let's use the Gmail example, and I will show you through here. But you get an email and it comes in, and then it's going to feed you information. So it feeds you who it's from, the subject, the email, all of that. And then you can take action on that in the next step, which is the action. Now, the last piece to this entire automation is this is called a workflow. So you're going to build step by step by step, and usually pretty sequential down straight. The newest thing to do is have AI agents who are a little bit less sequential, and they make decisions on their behalf. It's a little bit more advanced. You can connect multiple tools, and it's great. But I personally still like single line workflows for most of the things I'm doing because it takes less thinking from a third party. So even AI, it's this, when I do a workflow and it's a straight line, I'm telling it exactly what to do, and it's going to be way more repeatable than having an agent who will probably get it right most of the time, maybe all the time, but it has to think through. This way, we're basically pre-thinking. Now, the advantage to The straight workflow is it's going to be the same every single time. If you wanted a more custom one, that's where the agents would come into play. But again, we're sticking to the basics. So in here, you'll come in and you'll see all of these tools that you can create a trigger and you can search. So there's literally over 7,000 in here. You'll have top tools that I believe we use. These are the other actions or softwares inside of Zapier. So each one of these is basically a software. So chat is kind of like ChatGPT. Interface I'm actually super not familiar with. Tables is like just a Google spreadsheet, a little bit more powerful, more like Airtable. Agents is what we just talked about. And then functions is like doing math and things like that. And then there's a whole bunch of more in here, but we're going to stick to the basics. So let's go to Gmail. So what I want to do is set up the trigger. So in here, you're going to choose the account. Let's see. What action do we want it to take? So new attachment, new conversation, new email trigger when a new email appears in a specific mailbox. And then I'm going to link that to an account. So to link it to an account, you can create new, and you basically just have to log into one of your accounts. So you would click here, log in, and then it would show up. So I already probably have a whole bunch of accounts here. So let's just do... So I'm going to link it to our main company email. So hello@OtterPR. If you guys haven't heard about OtterPR, we're the #1 ranked PR firm in the world. We help people get into the news, TV, radio, things like that. Okay, so we're going to connect this, and then it's going to ask me what mailbox. So I'm just going to put it in inbox. So anytime we get a new message in our inbox, this trigger is going to go off. And the cool thing about this is it's kind of like we're going to start building an AI SDR so we can have it automatically respond or draft a response for us based on what we ask it to do. So you'll come in here, you'll see the information, everything from that email. So some of this just looks like gibberish and code. You'll have the actual email, and we'll kind of use all of this in the next step. And if for some reason you didn't like, and you'll see the full HTML, if you didn't like that sample, you can load for more, or you can grab an older one. I'm doing all this for the first time, so I'm just looking to see which one's a good email. So a lot of this is going to be the background stuff. You'll see replied to, you'll see probably subject somewhere, and you can search for a lot of this in the next step. So we'll go to the next step. So now this is the action we want to take. And in this, I mentioned that we want to make a draft reply. So I'm going to use ChatGPT, and it's called OpenAI. And then in OpenAI, you have a couple options here. You can have a conversation. You can work with one of your assistants. I did a different video on assistants. Assistants is basically in ChatGPT, you set up a special GPT or assistant or brain that knows how to answer specific questions. So if I really wanted to make this AI SDR, I would definitely set up that chat bot with information already, some knowledge base and things like that. I'll probably link to the other video. I don't know if I can just link a card up there or down below. You can find it. So let's see what we want to do here. Summarize, classify. So let's just say we want to summarize for simplicity. And then we're going to use, so same thing here. If you want to create a new connection, you'll do create a connection, and it'll tell you how to do it. So create an OpenAI key. So you'll come into ChatGPT. You have to log in. I already have a paid account. You do need a paid account for this. And I'm already integrated, so I'm just going to kind of give you an idea of the steps. Where'd you go? All right, so we got it up, and I'm going to put this aside. In here, then you just create a new key. You'll name it. You'll put in the default. You'll select all. I'm just going to walk you through it. This, I'm going to delete it, so no worries about stealing it, but you would use this in here. And I believe that would be all you need to do. And I would click done. So you'll notice I have this new API key. It's called trash. I'm going to literally delete that. Remove key. All right, so now you guys can't steal our credits. Cool. And then in here, we already have one connected. So I'm just going to grab one specifically. And then we'll go to the next step, which is going to be feeding it a prompt. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this to chat just so we can have a conversation with it. And I don't know why it's taken so long to load. So we can go ahead and close out of here and reopen it. And all right, there we go. It worked. So let's just, I want you guys to see what it looks like when it's done. This does auto save drafts, and you'll notice I can't publish it yet because the workflow is not done. So I'm going to go ahead and just refresh it, come in here, and hopefully it kind of there you go. So now it linked. That's not a normal glitch, but perfectly fine. So in here, we're able to take fields from above. So any step above. So in this case, we only have our trigger above, and we'll be able to put in a field here. So email body, that's going to be the messaging from, and I'll name these email body because it's not going to know. It's just going to have these words. And that's plain text versus HTML from name, reply to email. Okay. Now I just need to write a simple prompt. So I actually like using ChatGPT to write my prompts for me. So I'm going to pull up ChatGPT and I'm going to dictate this. All right, ChatGPT, I want to make a simple prompt for reviewing emails that come into the hello inbox at Otter PR. And then I want you to draft a simple reply based on what you know about Otter Public Relations. So that way my team can just review the draft and hit send. So here's my prompt. I'm going to tell it to clean this up real quick. Clean this up. And then I'm going to go ahead and, turn that into a simple AI prompt. Don't mind my spelling. And then from there, we'll put that prompt into the actual section. So the other piece here, I'm not going to get too much into AI prompting, is we'd want to tell it exactly how to reply, things like that. And then in here, you have the model. I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible. 4.0 mini is perfectly fine for most use cases. If you want it to remember this conversation, you can give it a unique ID. It can be something from the email above, maybe even that email. So that way it always knows who that person was. I'm not going to do that in here as well. You can upload images. There's a lot you can do in this. You can give it more instructions. Max token length is how long the conversation is. So if it's cutting off, whole bunch of options here. This helps you control your pricing. Temperature and topic is how creative you are. So the less creative, the lower the number. And then we're just going to hit continue, test step. So I know I went through the AI portion of it, but the AI portion of it is very in-depth and very complicated and not the point of this. It's really just to show you how to build these workflows. So let's see what our reply is. So I'll just go to the next step. Let's see. Reply. I'll just go to the next step. So I didn't want to publish it because now it's on. So now every time an email, nothing's really happened in the real world yet. We've just gotten information. So I'm going to go back to edit and I'll show you in the next step. So we're going to take out Gmail again, Gmail. And what we want to do is save a draft. So you'll notice that the Gmail trigger versus the Gmail actions have different possibilities. So create a draft and we're going to go back into the hello. All right. So now who do we want to send it to? So we're going to come into this original and go email. So this is who we're sending it to. We could CC someone if we wanted to. Let's grab the subject and do RE, and then we should be able to grab a subject. Subject. Cool. So now we're just saying we're replying to that subject. And then from, it's going to just be our email from name, Otter PR. We can do plain text or HTML. For this example, we're going to do plain text, but you will want it to be formatted. So in the future, you would do HTML. And then in here, we're going to come in. So from this node, which is, or action, is where we're going to grab our reply. So that's going to be the whole reply. And obviously, we want to format it and things like that. But thank you for reaching out. So yeah, so it worked. There's a lot of prompt engineering that would need to go into make this really an AI SDR or just information giving it. You can assign a specific signature and then you could have it sit in an inbox called drafts. I don't know if I have one set up. I think I used to. Chatbot drafts. There you go. So you can see I've done this in a different way and where our team does use it, it's really convenient. Continue. And then I can test step. And what will happen is we'll go to hello.rpr and we'll see drafts. And you will see here's the draft, exactly how we set that up. And it actually formatted it pretty well. So now we've tested it. We have a trigger. It's taking in information. We have an AI model who is updating the information. And again, I have another video that really talks about the assistant, which is the brain behind this. So the better prompt will help you actually get the correct answer based on, you can take an FAQ, upload it, and then it'll know exactly how to respond. Even to marketing emails, you can have it drafted and just like we pitch people with marketing emails because it's actually been really powerful for us. And then in here, you have it creating that draft. And if you wanted to, you could automatically have it send. You could put in different steps to quality check, make sure all the answers are. There's a whole bunch you can do in here that makes it more advanced. But from there, you publish it, and that's really it. Now you have a simple AI SDR built in to help speed up your team's responses, especially if you focus on this AI prompting with an AI assistant. I really hope you guys liked videos like this. There is so much more to Zapier, to AI, to all workflows and to integrations, but I just wanted to really show you the simple basics of how to get started and something that would actually be impactful that you could do today for your business. If you guys like videos like this, please make sure to subscribe. And I do have a link down below to all my tools, all my affiliate links, all my promotions, freebies, lead lists. There's a whole bunch of things that you can even get published on USA Wire for free. So grab those links down below. And until next time, thank you.